What's up, everybody? Frank Valkyria, welcome to the channel. Yes, we gotta talk about this. You guys pointed out certain things, so let's go over it. Let's make some connections. I also found new things which I didn't know before. We are just 2 days away from knowing what the heck is gonna happen. So let's go first thing first. Look at this. We are in Justice for Journey. This picture's been going around for a while. And we all know this picture. Some of us have seen this picture, some of us don't. This is a period where those two people were seemingly seeing each other. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if this is a skin allergy. It looks like certainly something is going on all the way up to the temple here. So either it's like some kind of allergic reaction to something, but literally there is like some type of bruising and redness in the face that seems very conducive to a reaction to something. I don't want to go as far as say like maybe it's a hit. I don't know. But obvious, this is probably one of the few pictures which they circulate around where this guy has this type of reaction if he has a skin condition. You know what I mean? You would think that probably he would be caught having or sporting something like this more often because that's what skin condition do, right? So I don't know. That's something interesting to be pointing out. But anyway, from these to the response we got yesterday on the Lex Friedman tweet, right? He responded. He's involved. He's still engaged. We know that because otherwise you don't respond. And maybe that response ties to, let's see, where is this? Here or here? Yes. So this is Howell. There was the ex-boss of Whitney, and we also heard the deposition. This is the letter that she published before. Many of us has read this letter in full. I also read it on my channel, but this is the part where it gets interesting, right? So in this part, you see Howell basically saying to Whitney about this argument, that conversation that Whitney was having with her mother about Elon Musk, and the fact that he had given apparently some Teslas which were bugged to and said that he was, referring to Elon, controlling, abusive, and that she was in a legal battle with him over the right to embryos that they had created together. He wanted to destroy them, and Amber tried to keep them to have a baby. So literally this is all kind of, I would say, solidifying speculation that this talk it's real. Don't forget that Howell was the boss of Whitney, and Whitney apparently lived with her. So this seemed to give some credence to, some kind of legit, truth to what the rumor that it's going around, So you also know that had a surrogate mother, basically a surrogate kids. She didn't carry the kid, so it kind of makes sense. To this day, I honestly don't know. I mean, I don't want to speculate. It might be for maybe health reasons that she didn't do that, or maybe for vanity reasons. Could be. I leave you, I leave that judgment to you. A second. Anyway, we also found this thread, which is actually quite interesting. It's a thread where it describes old troubled history of in many pictures and all kinds of things. This is actually something I found for the first time myself. And I think when I see this, I'm not surprised. Honestly, this is exactly what people of this type do. Like, social like influencers, which they're busy with themselves, that they have to capture the right image. So apparently this is somewhere where something was taking place in the period of Black Lives Matters movement, and we see like here posing next to what it seems like to be a cop, and then we get, of course, the message underneath, the statement, because you gotta be part. When something is relevant, you want to be relevant too, so you leave a statement, right? What a statement. Standing in solidarity with those intent on changing a terribly flawed and broken system, and for those who are demeaning justice in support of countless black and brown lives lost to it. I stand with all who are participating in this historic moment, because the historic moment is important to participate in. The only problem is that apparently somebody took to analyze a little bit this picture and find out that those eyes are basically the eyes of this dude, a friend. Look at the friend, wearing what it seems like to be a fake badge, which is not supposed to be worn on that location, and there is history of these people together. So could it be that that picture is fake? Most likely, most likely. So we have learned another thing today. How about that? So I also read backwards that EL said that this picture was taken, this video was taken well after that they were that she was divorced from JD, but Drew, you know, the guy that lived, basically the husband of her friend Pennington, has testified, and we heard the testimony that he has seen this guy many times going up, well before the paper, the divorce paper. So it seems that somebody's lying. Somebody seems is lying. Yeah, man. I probably have said this before, but we do a recap. We don't have much to do. Can you imagine that this guy, Spiegel Doctor, said that he watched, I don't remember this though, but if that's the truth, I don't recall the old deposition, that he watched Pirates of the Caribbean movies to actually diagnose Johnny Depp? Is he aware that those are actually movies? That that's actually a fictional character? Oh my God, can you imagine? And we have this, we gotta go with the meme. This seems like basically to sum up the entire cross-examination, and I agree. And here we have AH saying, and then Johnny shot me and I died. Miss Heard, if you die, wouldn't you be dead? For me, it wasn't that bad. That's exactly encompassing everything that we've been going through. Oh, jeez. Actually, I didn't know JD had a ring that said truth like that. In a way, those little details really tell you how much effect has had this on the life of this person, that he went to the length of creating a ring or finding a ring that states that. You know, this is probably like also for self, for the self. This is how much has impacted his existence. So we have seen this video yesterday about AH like scribbling on paper, and then suddenly somebody pointed out that actually the scribbling seemed like a fake scribbling, like a scribbling that takes place like 3 millimeters from the paper itself, which is maybe imaginary scribbling, you know? Maybe ideas are taking shape in the mind. You cannot judge. Maybe people do that because ideas are being formed and the movement helps the ideas taking place in the brain. Okay? Maybe. I'm just saying. Huh? Maybe. Or maybe BS. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. I saw this petition, but honestly, I don't know what is going to happen. I think the petition, when I saw it right now, was almost at 4,400,004,000, basically 404,000. So there is still like 95,000 left to go. And but honestly, I don't know what is happening when that happens. You know, we see that Paul McCartney is showing pictures on the big screen here in his concert in May 28 in support of Johnny Depp, which is pretty nice, I have to say. That, you know, I know they're friends, but to take his side like this, I think it's quite telling, you know. Probably he also knows JD for quite some time. They've played together. Finally, the mainstream media seems to cut up a little bit with the truth. And this is quite telling because I don't know exactly which magazine is this. I don't know, where does it say? Is this a media? I don't know. But a lot of media, it's biased towards the usual narrative of, you know, believing all women. And I wish they were right. And also gives a distorted idea to people which they didn't follow the trial completely and they just read the headlines and they can still buy into that kind of narrative. I think it's very unfair. But here we have some magazine which they're kind of waking up to it, to the fact that it's so incredibly obvious that even them somehow are forced now to tell the truth. You know what I mean? So either willingly or because they were forced. Anyway, it's a good thing. Those headlines, they start to reflect a little bit what a lot of people feel, which is Heard claims of violence by Depp an act of cruelty to real victims. Exactly the point. Exactly the point. So finally they're waking up, and let's listen to. This is Johnny Depp, a song Techno. I don't know where it came out. Probably a German band. There's literally a Jack Sparrow dancing to this song, Johnny Depp. I cannot show you, otherwise I get copyright claimed. But that's funny. I think the song is literally called Johnny Depp. So, yeah, fascinating. There is not much we can go by. I was just curious about the connection between the story of the frozen embryos with the bruise and with the elevators and the deposition. Those things, there seem to be a little bit of incongruencies, but also it seems to be tied together. Also, why EM is coming out with a tweet still a few days ago, like literally, I think it was yesterday or so, showing somehow that he's connected to it, right? Such a high-profile person like that, I think, shouldn't take any stand or step, because everything you say, of course, is going to be covered by YouTubers such as me, and for the million others YouTubers and also media that exist out there. So yeah, I think you probably thought of that. And again, just to make sure that we know where we are at, I don't know who needs to hear this Epiphany says, but there's a big difference between mocking abuse and mocking an abuser who's made a mockery of it. People mocking AH don't mock domestic abuse. They mock an abuser posing as a domestic abuse victim. Glad I could clear that up. That's exactly the point. Here, nobody hates anybody, but when things become so obvious, I mean, you just gotta laugh at it, like the fake crying on the stand. You just can't do nothing else. I mean, literally, seems like sometimes that if you really want to buy into it, into her side, it feels like you're taking the crazy pill. It's just impossible to believe, honestly. Anyway, guys, a little bit of filling the gap from here to Tuesday. Finger crossed. Always spread love. I talk to you later. Ciao. Guys, just a quick reminder, there is a new design for my merch, for my motto, always spread love. I really enjoy this more minimalist and still kind of gothic look to it. Very simple. And so if you want to check it out, the links are below. See you later. Ciao.